Look, I don't know how y'all be having all these degrees, diplomas, and the intuition God gave you, and then you let somebody dusty son who still read by dragging his finger under every sentence play with you like you stupid. I don't get it. I don't get it. How do y'all keep letting that happen? Look, let me preface this real quick. I love when y'all hit me up. I love being your internet big brother, trying to help you, give you some game, give you a man's honest point of view, objectively is what it is. I love that. But sometimes I get frustrated on behalf of y'all. We are not naturally as inclined as women when it comes to peeping the BS. Y'all's intuition, just your femininity, period, put you at an advantage to be able to see through some of these nuances. But I think sometimes it can work against you as well, because even the most intelligent women that hit me up are questioning whether or not they're getting played with like the fool that God thinks that he is. And oftentimes it don't require no expertise or, relationship guru or nothing like that. All it requires is for you to really look at it with a sober mind and stop thinking everybody got the same heart as you and wouldn't play around with somebody like you that love as hard as you do. The way that a man handles or mishandles you is all up to his value system. You can't go by yours and say, well, he's doing these things, but surely they're not what they come off as, because he wouldn't play with me. Look at me. I mean, I'm beautiful. I work on myself. I do this, that, and the other. Yes, he would. There are times where a man will really just play with you like you're a fool. And there's this saying. There's actually this saying. You play the fool to catch the fool. But some people take that into a relationship. Now, some people ain't playing the fool. Some dudes are not. Some guys, just like they read on the 3rd grade level, they operate in a relationship on the 3rd grade level as well. So some stuff is just flabbergasting that this man was able to make it this long, this far in life, and still be alive and still operate motor vehicles and doing stuff at the level that he's doing it. But then there are times where a man honestly just thinks you're a fool. I'm gonna give you some signs so you can stop questioning yourself, doubting yourself, and being so blown away that a man would just play in your face so blatantly. No, you ain't tripping. No, you ain't crazy. He thinks you're a fool. One way that you know that man just thinks that you're a fool, if he does a lot of playing dumb. Like if he does a whole lot of obvious forgetfulness, and I'm talking about a whole lot. I'm talking about a pattern. There are times where a man may honestly just forget it's your birthday. There are times where a man honestly may forget that he said that he was going to clean the dishes tonight or would rub your feet tonight or whatever. But if you got a man that repetitively, like a pattern of committing to things or saying that he heard and understood you on something, and then he just forgot, that man thinks you're a fool. I don't care how trivial it may seem, how small of a deal it may seem. If that man is doing that more than really once in a month, just, oh man, I forgot. Oh man, it slipped my mind. And you told him, if you keep having to say that, I told you. You keep having to say that, and he ain't got ADHD or nothing like that. He in his right mind for the most part. He went past the 8th grade. He's playing you for a fool. He thinks you dumb. He thinks you stupid. Now, why am I saying all of this? I'm not saying this so you guys can get upset, be antagonized or anything like that. I'm saying this because if he's doing it for small stuff, you don't think he's gonna do this for bigger stuff? If he's doing this at this level, how much time do you think you're wasting by being with a man who even willing to play those games? And I'm talking about honestly at best that he's really not that much of an imbecile. And then got you operating. It's just like, when you got a clown arguing with whoever from a distance, people can't tell who's who. Then he got you basically playing at his level. Not only does he not mentally stimulate you, he's mentally deteriorating you. Another way that you know that man really thinks that you're a fool is if you text him or you say something to him and say you're in depth with it, you're communicating, but he takes one line out, twist it, and doesn't even address it right then and there. He walks away with whatever it is that he says he understands, all the things that you done said, all the things that you texted. Then later on, he does some stupid stuff or some messed up stuff and then brings up one line that he twisted out of context. Oh, I thought that's what I thought you were saying because you said, I thought you were saying by you being tired at work, that meant that you didn't want to go out tonight. So I made plans with the homies to go out and be out all night, even though we ain't had a date night in 6 weeks. So I said I was going to hang, but you said you was tired. And I thought that meant he playing you for a fool. I know this sounds like, oh, dude, you shouldn't have to explain. No. Because when you love somebody, you give them a certain emotional proximity, a certain authority even, that they may not deserve. That love puts the logic aside and says, I'm gonna give this person more benefit of the doubt because I've now allowed them into my heart. They got a little bit more leeway, a little bit more grace. So even though to the objective mind, as we're not in love and all that kind of stuff, in the relationship, I could totally understand why some of these things kind of can confuse you and have you questioning, scratching your head like, ain't no way this person just tried me like that. Yeah, he trying you like that. Text message. You done broke it down to him, how he really had you messed up, how he can do better, what you would like to see from him, the impact that what he did had on you, and therefore that's correlative to the tolerance you do not have for it, how it's impacting the whole relationship, how much you guys are able to do together, and then he take one line out of that. I thought you were saying, that this was the last time that you really was done. So I don't know. I just kind of felt like you ain't want no more dates. So you ain't want me to go through it. Your birthday didn't matter because I thought you was done with me. But I know. I wish I was just being funny or facetious, but no, he thinks you're a fool. Another way that you know that man thinks you're a fool is if he does something to you, then plays like it was a test. Now, you don't get this too often deep into the relationship, but be careful about this little bailout technique. God does something, says something really out of pocket. Oh, I was just trying to see what you was going to say. I just wanted to see how you was going to react. That's the only reason why I said that. I really wasn't doing nothing for real. I just said I wanted to go to the strip club tonight. I really was just trying to see what you was going to say. I wasn't really trying. No, I ain't playing you for a fool. And I'm by the way, guys, have a sense of humor. If you know your man's sense of humor and he's literally just joking and maybe taking it a little too far, have grace, all that good stuff. But if we talking about somebody who ain't never been like that and he ain't jokey or nothing like that, and he do that whole, I was testing you to see what you was gonna say, tell him to go and take the ACT, tell him to go take the SAT, tell him to go back to college or something like that if he got all these tests and stuff like that to take. Especially if y'all in a serious relationship. Even before then, a man doing all of these different tests is him asserting himself as your intellectual superior. Like, you got to prove yourself to him. Therefore, he's going to devise the parameters in which you're going to prove yourself acceptable. And so he's going to put you through these metrics and measure you according to, no, don't even play. Nah, put down the joystick, let him play them games with somebody else. Or let you point out an obvious truth. Every time he answers the phone or gets a phone call, he immediately ignores it, puts it back down, face down. Or every time he gets a phone call, he answers, got to step out first before he even says anything. Or you hear him clicking that side button to turn down the volume every single time. And you say, hey, look, some of the things that you do with your phone, I don't know. It's like when a person always got to do that, it's usually something they're trying to hide. And he hit you with that whole, everybody ain't like that. That don't apply to everybody. He's playing you for a fool. When a man takes something that is absolutely universally true, absolutely, and then plays like he's just the exception to every single rule, and you can't hold him to that because everybody ain't like that. Everybody, my phone every Friday and Saturday night, all of a sudden don't got no charger, 7 p.m. until 9 a.m. the next day. But everybody, some people just be working hard and going hard for their dreams. Everybody ain't like that where they got somebody coming over and they know they can't be on the phone or having phone calls come in. He hit you with that? He think you a fool. He think you stupid. Put I down in the chat if you've ever had a guy really try you, play in your face whenever you brought something that was obvious, clear as day. Clear as day. And then, just because I wanted to come over on the very first date to your house with a bottle of hen and I asked if what your favorite position was, that don't mean I'm trying to have sex. Everybody ain't like that. Playing in your face. You think you're a fool. And I'm going to give you one more. And this actually not just blurs, but definitely crosses into the territory of gaslighting. If you catch him up in something, he feels cornered in a conversation where he intellectually has no ground to stand on. If he ever deflects to your insecurities that you've expressed to him, if he ever deflects to something that he thinks that you're failing at in life or some goal you haven't reached, that's him not just playing you for a fool. He's really trying to gaslight you to where you end up questioning yourself. Say, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. If that man in any type of bad conversation immediately goes to, that's why you this age and with no man, or that's why you lost the last man that you was with. If he deflects and uses your insecurity, what he's hoping will make you a fool in that situation is the override of emotions. If he can somehow stoke the flames of that pain and that insecurity, it'll override your logic, push you into a place where now you're defending yourself and all your focus is strictly on what he just said. Getting him to apologize, getting him to acknowledge that what he said was hurtful, it wasn't cool, it wasn't okay, or clearing it up. That's not the reason why you don't have a man, or this is unrelated, whatever it is. That's how you got into a situation where your credit score is where it's at. That's how you got into a situation where your weight is where it's at. That's how you got this old and you lost that last marriage or that last relationship or whatever. Any man that does that, he's not just playing in your face. He's absolutely gaslighting you. He's gaslighting you. And these are games that a man will play with you, honestly, at any age. I would say in the younger age, you can't really spot this too easily. You probably haven't had enough life experience to know that when a man 19, 20, 21, he don't even know probably he's doing these types of things. And honestly, he may still be developing into the man he's going to be. So he honestly may be really, honestly, just dumb on some levels. And therefore, he's not playing you like you're dumb. He's showing up dumb because that's just where he's at. No disrespect, just is what it is. But after a certain age, 35, 40, a lot of men may play like they dumb, but they smart enough to know who to try it with, or they think they are. And this is why as a woman, you can't be so front facing with your heart and your emotions and your belief and all of this optimism and openness and reception of what's for you that you forget to keep your discernment on you at all times, your intuition on you at all times. You can't leave home without that. And in fact, once you get to a certain age, that intuition, that discernment, it goes to another level if you know how to tap into it. Past the age of 40, there's a certain way that you should be dating and accessing your discernment that should keep you from wasting your time really in the first date, maybe even the first couple conversations with a man. You should be able to peep certain things after age 40 that you don't have to deal with. A 25-year-old just ain't got enough lived experience. But once you got a certain level of wisdom and experience and maturity and you've overcome enough, there's a whole different way you need to be dating according to where you're at in this season of your life versus whenever you were younger. This is the only reason why a lot of deserving women after a certain point in their life just say, I'm going to be single. I just can't find nobody. No. You just never tapped into the strategies you need to tap into after age 40 in order to attract men who are equally yoked in terms of your maturation. And they're done with these games. Now, if you want more in depth about that, because I already went in on my free video down there at the link in the comments, also in the caption, I gave away my best free dating advice for women over 40. Again, that's down in the comments. Look at that link right there, pinned by my page. Also in the caption when you back out, about how to use the strategies that are only available to you after a certain point so you can have the advantage in the dating pool. Really, after age 40, it should only be getting better. Not that anybody necessarily aims to go back into the dating pool at age 40, 50, 60, etc. But at that point, honestly, the ball is really in your court if you know how to access those strategies. But back to what I was saying. Don't let nobody dusty son that was getting mad whenever you wouldn't let him copy off your test play you like a dummy, play you like a fool. Running game on you. You got intuition. The only key to using that intuition is you trusting it over his lies. But those are just my thoughts. I'm your internet brother trying to look out for you per usual. And if you got anything of value from this, I don't need your money. But what I do need, I really want you to do. If you got something from this, bless somebody else on your timeline. Be a blessing to one of your family or friends by hitting that share button over in the side so they can get some value from this as well. Don't be stingy. And if you are over the age of 40 and you want to know how to shift your dating approach to be in alignment with where you're at so you can get men who are where you're at or even higher, click the link that you see pinned down in the comments, also in the caption whenever you back out. Get my best free dating advice for women over 40. Holla at y'all later, y'all be good.